gonna watch it all. I'm sorry.
The warrior is strong, yet his sleep is fragile.
He's got him straight away.
His wisdom, an amalgamation of precedent, yet his decisions cannot be based on the frailties of man.
Oh, right hand! He really caught him with that.
He is rather fueled by divine inspiration, ascending from the heart.
Oh, Eubank. Superb combination.
He knows not anger, and only fears the unknown.
It's a good right hand and caught, and in trouble, but fights back.
The warrior does not judge, for his true assignment is to deliver evidence of superior behavior to the creator of all men.
Oh, right hand and down.
The warrior does not dream of frontiers. He only sees horizons.
Oh, that for a right hand. And then groggy and the left eye completely closed now.
The warrior is a creature of irony, for his genuine task is to ensure peace.
Oh, right hand. This is it. Gone. This is the end.
That's poetic porn right there. I'm sorry. That's poetic boxing porn. If you don't know, that is the Warriors Code. Live by, die by it. TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. So listen. This is a big fight and clearly a crossroads fight for both of these fighters. February the 17th. It's taking place, is it in London? In Manchester. Over there in the UK. They're saying that it's sold out. If Chris Eubank loses, then people are going to be like, oh, you were just a hype job. If George Groves loses, they're going to be like, you're done. It's in the World Boxing Super Series tournament, and the winner of this is going to go on to fight the winner of Colin Smith versus Jurgen Brahmer and win what? We're still trying to figure out what the total prize payout is. So right now, this is the second. Let's just go look at it. I'll read it to you. I'm going to read it to you. We're going to do a little bit of Read It Rainbow here. And it's a shame that we can't get these fights broadcast here in the United States. Richard Schaefer talked about it, but we're going to play a clip from that in a minute. The World Boxing Super Series is the first of its kind annual boxing tournament and will bring together the best of the best fighters to compete at venues around the world for the Muhammad Ali Trophy. The opening bell sounds for the first fight in the inaugural season on September 2017. A total of 16 elite boxers from two weight classes, cruiserweight, that's a 200-pound division, and super middleweight, that's 168, will battle in an all-out 14 separate fight nights in a bracket-style elimination tournament, with the winner of each division crowned in May of 2018. The World Boxing Super Series is owned and organized by Comosa AG, which is founded by Highlight Events and Entertainment in Modern Times and Silent Promotions AG, yada yada yada. No disrespect. So basically, it's a $25 million tournament. Well, $50 million tournament spread across two divisions. So the total payout for the cruiserweight, the 168-pound division is 25, and the cruiserweight 25. I'm still trying to find out how that's broken down, but no matter what, the winner of this tournament, will make a lot of money in a very short period of time, meaning in a 9-month span, because the first fight was in September, and then the last fight of the tournament will be in May, and there's $25 million spread throughout that. Chris Eubank Jr. in his fight before this, the qualifying round, or the opening round, defeated a fighter by the name of Anvi Yoderim, and then George Groves, in my opinion, had the more tougher of fights with the somewhat he's still defining himself as a fighter, Jamie Cox. Now these guys are fighting each other. Chris Eubank Jr. has that highly and seductive and alluring IBO title, but unfortunately, even though he has a belt, that IBO title means nothing more in this landscape than the WBC silver or championship or something like that. It's really not a respected, title. To whereas in George Groves has that WBA, he's had those big fights with James DeGale way back, and more importantly, Carter Cooper Froch. So, in my opinion, who has more to lose, because this is by far Chris Eubank's biggest test. And we've seen that George Groves struggles with pressure fighters, or more so later on in fights when he tends to slow down. So can Chris Eubank Jr. capitalize off of that? Also, Chris Eubank Jr. better not, or he will not toy around with George Groves like he has done with previous opponents. I mean, let's face it. Let's go look at the resume. There's really not much there, especially after Billy Joe Saunders. You know, the Avni Yildirim was the opening fight in the World Boxing Super Series tournament. You know, Arthur Abraham, yeah, that was a good, solid, win. But people are looking at that like, well, Arthur Abraham is over the hill, but still a good, solid win. Ronald Quinlan, when he won that IBO title, Tom Duran, Nick Blackwell put him in the hospital. Crazy, that Gary Spike O'Sullivan is now being rumored to fight Danny Jacobs. You got Tony Jeter there. You got, Dmitry Chutinov. And then, Billy Joe Saunders. And I'm confident that Billy Joe Saunders, especially the one we seen against David Lemieux, would beat Chris Eubank Jr. again. So George Groves does have some boxing ability to be able to try to keep Chris Eubank Jr. off of him. And that's why it's a big fight, in my opinion. And the winner of this fight, in my opinion, will likely be the winner of the tournament by what the fight means for both. Because I like Colin Smith and everything like that, but it's still, it's still, much to be desired, So we have, I don't know, did they announce the Colin Smith fight yet? I've been a little behind with the World Boxing Super Series. With the holidays and getting sick. No, it hasn't been finalized yet. This so the winner of Groves versus Eubank is going to go on to fight the winner, of this, of these two, And right now we're still trying to learn who Colin Smith is, And Jürgen Brahmer, yeah, he's the dark horse in the division, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. So the question is now, is looking at George Groves' record, 27-3. He's been knocked out twice, stopped by Cole Frotch in the first fight, somewhat controversially, but in my opinion, it was a good stoppage. And then when you look at the fact that he was knocked cleanly, straight, he was like, put it this way, he's lucky that memes wasn't the way they are now, or he would have been slaughtered. You get knocked out in that day, in this day and age, on like that, you getting slaughtered. The internet going to destroy you. But, do you think that Chris Eubank Jr. has enough power to, I don't know. Looking at his record, Jamie Cox, Feeder Chutinov, when he won his first, world title. Remember, George Groves, tried the IBF path with Carl Frotch. He lost on that route. Then, a lot of people had him beating Bottle Jack, meaning that he was going to defeat Bottle Jack. He didn't. That was the WBC path, and now he was going the WBA path. And you was thinking to yourself, a lot of people were like, man, if he don't beat Feeder Chutinov, in this title shot, then he's officially done. So now he's going up against Chris Eubank Jr. and his back is against the wall in a way. Even though he's only 29 years old, he's made a lot of money. He is a very known name in the UK, whether you like him or not. But the question is, like, can he be world-class talent? You see what I'm saying? Can he be world-class talent, especially when you look at, do I have it pulled up, the 168-pound division as a whole, with WBC champion David Benavidez taking on Ronald Gavril again, on undercard of Garcia versus Rios, if I'm correct. Of course, he has the WBA. He can beat Caleb Truax, in my opinion. And, could he beat, Gilberto Ramirez? So the question is, whoever wins this World Boxing Super Series, or whoever wins between George Groves, Chris Eubank Jr., Conor Smith, and Jürgen Brahmer, can any of those guys, carry the 168-pound division? So, for your example, a lot of people before he fought, David Benavidez fought for Gavril, they thought, oh, well, yeah, he's going to be the best 168-pounder. Even Gilberto Ramirez was on his way, in my opinion, to losing to Jesse Hart. You got Andre Durrell, who's going to be taking on Utskotsky, this guy right here, Utskat, the guy, I forgot to pronounce his name, very, very soon. So the question is, who is the number one 168 pounder, you know, and the winner of George Groves and Chris Eubank Jr. can somewhat solidify that if the Pentagon, you know, how these guys win. Depending on how Eubank wins, people going to be like, oh, shit, yo, he can really rule the 168-pound division. Depending on how George Groves wins, they're going to be like, yeah, he's finally got this big, major, significant win under his belt, and maybe it's finally coming together that Carl Frost is going, he'll run the 168-pound division, you know? Anyway, I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. Please subscribe. Follow me on social media. Obviously, as you can see, it's been popping up at the bottom of the screen. We're here, you know, working 4+ videos 6 days a week, and that's not including posts. Then it's not including live streams or including you know, when we upload events, upload media events, you know, press conferences, weigh-ins. But we're looking for help. You know, there is some people that have reached out to me, and I'm going to be getting back to you, but the info is for to contact us is right there down below in the description box. It's info@FightView360, or contact us anywhere. We're looking for help. Definitely in London, in Manchester, and somebody contacted me from Birmingham, you know, in Liverpool, in all those boxing hotspots. If you want to go to those Sky Sports shows, you know, those, maybe even those small ones, you know, those Sky Sports Fight Night shows, or if you want to go to, like, you know, these Box Nation events or anything, and you know, you want to make a little money too, come on, holla at us, man, and make sure, you know, we're doing things professionally. So even though I'm a cool dude and everything, for the most part, you know, we are running a business, you know, so understand that, you know, if you email or contact me, make sure, you know, you leave your name, where you're from, you know, a way to contact you. I prefer Facebook, because then we can get on the horn, you know, and start talking. But anyway, I'm TstreeT Controversy. Please subscribe. All the links to my social media, as you can see, are in the description box, or they're been popping up on the video all along.